Our siblings, another doctor into the family.
Transplant network to find and distribute organs. The legislation, whose sponsors claim broad bipartisan support, would also outlaw the buying and selling of human organs. This is how Congressman Gore presented it at a Washington news conference.
We've sort of been thrown into this new era of transplantation, and our methods of dealing with it are still back in the past. The bill has three primary goals. Number one, to increase voluntary organ donation and to improve the coordination of organ procurement and distribution. Second, to ensure equitable and timely access to life-saving and medically effective technologies, of which organ transplants offer only one example. And third, the bill will prohibit the buying and selling of human organs. We believe that there's an important distinction between things and people. Things are bought and sold, people are not, and parts of people should not.
Dr. Oscar Salvatierra, president of the American Society of Transplant Surgeons and head of the transplant program at the University of California in San Francisco, estimated that the number of kidney transplants might be increased from 5,000 to 10,000 a year if the bill were enacted. Were enacted.
At labor cost industry.
So you're arguing really the unions don't have any complaint. I mean, apart from wanting more money, that they just have to accept that in the name of the marketplace and efficiency, their costs will have to go down. Is that what you're saying?
Labor and the unions have every right to make as much money as they can. Our system is structured in the marketplace so there are competing forces, and competition regulates price and value. When the system was regulated, there wasn't competition to discipline the costs of things, and they had every right to make as much as they could. Now that it's a competitive industry, though, the fact is that labor in the marketplace costs a lot less than what the formerly regulated airlines are having to pay under their existing contracts.
What do you think about the way airlines like Continental and Eastern are using the bankruptcy laws?
Well, I agree with Howard Putnam that it's a matter of time. If Continental was inexorably headed down into ultimate bankruptcy, then I don't think it was improper to try to reorganize before they were totally dead. It'll be up to the bankruptcy judge to decide whether the facts were as the Continental management represents them.
What do you say to Senator Ann?
Well, I think in the long term it was, Senator, and seems to me the premise that we all have to fight for is if we believe in the free enterprise system in this country, we've got to give it time to sort itself out.
Mr. Cohen, let me pick up on that, Mr. Putnam, with Mr. Cohen. The point the Senator made a while ago is it's all well and good for you and Mr. Putnam to say, just give it a little time, it'll shake itself out. But he says that by the time that time comes, the whole system could be collapsed.
The system isn't collapsing. Let's look at Braniff a minute. The airplanes that Braniff took into the bankruptcy court didn't disappear. 20 of those airplanes have been sold to People Express, a new airline that operates low-cost, low-fare service and is expanding, giving consumers the opportunity to travel much more cheaply than they could have had Braniff continued to own and operate those 20 airplanes. That's the genius of our system.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask the Senator on the politics of this. Are you the only one, or is there some heat generating in Congress as a result of Continental and all these things that are happening now to do some re-regulating, to at least take a hard look at deregulation?
Well, when we began looking at this with Secretary Dole when she came up before our committee for her first hearing, Senator Byrd from West Virginia, Senator Stennis from Mississippi, Senator D'Amato from New York State. All were citing the same kinds of problems that we've experienced in North Dakota. We used to have regularly scheduled airline service to 7 towns in North Dakota, now just to 4. These problems have been matched in every region of this country, and in a totally bipartisan group of senators have this problem.
Senator, thank you. Mr. Cohen in Salt Lake, thank you. And Mr. Putnam in New York. Robin?
In other